Hello everyone, here's another joystick review. This week it's the Dreamcast official arcade stick, made by agetec. So, because the amount of buttons on the Dreamcast controller, there is of course the analog stick and the D-pad. I assume this represents the D-pad on the Dreamcast. You've got A, B, X and Y. You've got Z and C. Z and C will be the shoulder buttons, you know, L and R, you know, the trigger buttons. And of course there's no select button on a Dreamcast, so just the start button. Stick feels good. It's got a very short throw distance on, which would be good for shoot 'em ups. Maybe good for fighting games as well. It's in a grey colour, grey and white. This was bought second hand, and it's in very good condition. It's still white, it's not gone yellow, unlike my Dreamcast, which has gone yellow, unfortunately. As you can see there is a slot for a VMU, or VMS, whatever you want to call it, which is the Dreamcast memory card. You can't put a rumble pack in there, of course, because well, it's an arcade stick. I mean, some arcade sticks do, as a previous review I did, have rumble on them, but I think it's kind of pointless. Also, the rumble pack's probably too big to fit in there. It's got quite a good weight to it. It feels quite heavy. It's good size, it's not too small. You can see the buttons are more close to the top there, so when you're playing it, your hand goes here, so your wrist is resting on there, and if you're using the top buttons, your wrist is resting just there, and so it's pretty good. And the joysticks out there, your wrist is resting about the same place over here. So however you're playing it, that's how it is. So there we have it. The buttons feel alright. I mean, obviously we don't know until we put a game on, but they seem very close to really good arcade buttons. And as I said, the joystick actually feels really good. So next we'll have a look at a game. We'll have a look at shoot 'em up, we'll have a look at fighting game, and we'll see how good the control is. Hello, excuse the mess. This is Gigawing. This is a shoot 'em up. This is one of my favourites. Shoot 'em ups are my favourite games, you may or may not have gathered. And this is the best game to test out a low throw stick on. So let's have a look. Arcade mode. Who shall we have? I like the purple one. This is also on the arcades, this game as well. This is of course the Dreamcast version. Father, Mother, Makoto, it is time for me to leave. I must destroy the stone to stop the killing. This okay, went off. Excuse the lininess on the screen. This is a modern TV and an all the games console. The stick is very smooth. Responsiveness doesn't seem as quick as a Sanwa stick though, but it's not bad. It seems a little loosey-goosey. Could do with the spring being tightened up a bit. Easily done though. I think. Give it a shot. The buttons seem quite responsive. They're not mushy. I think they're about as good as Sanwa buttons and such. I think they're pretty good. For those of you who don't know, Sanwa make the arcade machine parts you see in Japanese arcades. They're the best buttons and sticks you can buy. You can get those for your joysticks at home. You can also buy joysticks with those buttons in, like the Mad Catz ones, for example. Or you can buy buttons and replace them yourself. I mean, really, it's up to you. There's the bomb button, of course. Boom. Of course, I'm not great at these games, but that doesn't matter to me. The games are fun. That's all that matters. Yeah, but the joystick could be a little tighter. Oh no! Take that, man. Give me all your gold. Curses! They drew innocent people into this war against their will. Should have put some voice acting on this or something, or at least give you time to read the text. Yeah, man, check out my buttons. If you use a shield, you can turn the bullets into gold. Beautiful. Just like real life. Just like a sandwar button, you don't have to press it in that much for it to respond, so the buttons are very responsive. Okay, so we've done a level of giggling, so let's mute for a moment. Try. That's the pause button. Anyway, so yeah, the joystick is quite responsive, but it's it could do with being tightened up a little bit. The buttons are quite good; they're very sensitive, and it's not bad for shoot 'em ups. So that was Gigawing PAL version for the Sega Dreamcast. So next up, we're going to have a fighting game. We're going to have Capcom versus SNK. So you've got Street Fighter and King of Fighters, best of both worlds really. And this one's made by Capcom. Of course there is a crossover game made by SNK. I don't think that one's good though, to be honest. Anyway, moving on to that. Hello, hello, of course, as I just mentioned. Next up is Capcom vs SNK. I don't have a memory card in. This is just for testing at the moment. It'll warn you if you've not got a memory card in. Yada yada yada. Capcom. Good old Capcom. They got greedy. They started charging you for so-called extra DLC that was actually included on the disc to begin with. Yes, people, I'm sure you all know that already. You buy a game from the shop and you pay full price for it, and part of the disc is actually locked. And now Capcom are up for sale. Oh, that'll teach them dirty buggers. SNK. That's what you get for being greedy. So, I don't know what the button config is. Let's just go into arcade mode. I know Capcom vs SNK 2 on the Xbox had a few issues with the controller for some reason. Let's have Ken and Kyo. Hey, what? Turbo, baby. I'm not that good on fighting games with sticks, so bear with me. Ikaze. Let's go. I think it's detected that the stick's in there, so it's automatically configured properly. Oh yeah, da da! Sorry about that. Beaten up by a schoolgirl. The ultimate embarrassment. Oh, my nuts! Ikaze! Show you the part! They all seem like that. I'll have a look at the button config in a minute. Yay! He enjoys a bit of that, doesn't he? Right, let's have a look at the button light. Oh, okay. So, I want. Oh, it's light and not. Oh, right. Okay, that's how it works. Right, that's fine. Yeah. Well, that's responsive, isn't it? Now I know what's going on. As you can see, I'm having no problem pulling the moves off. Well, to an extent, anyway. Should we have another match? I think we'll have a second match. You know, since how we're doing better we can, let's choose him first this time. Oh no, it's the clones! Ow, my face! Oh, I'm on fire! Shit! I shouldn't have spilled the can of gasoline on my hands, man. Bro fist. Yeah, take that. Yeah, boy! Oh! no, I got my butt kicked. I apologise for the overexcitement there. Some of them have got custom intros. Oh, he's aggressive, isn't he? Die, motherfucker! Woo! Orokaza. What the hell that means. Right, that was Street Fighter. Well, actually it was Capcom versus SNK. And the stick is actually pretty good. I mean, I'm usually pretty bad with arcade sticks, but this stick is actually pretty nice for Street Fighter. So, thumbs up to agetec for that one. Next, we'll go on to a more simple puzzle game, which is Buster Move 4 or Puzzle Bobble, which was recently ripped off by a company that makes mobile phone games that put the word Saga on the end, and they recently I think in Europe and the States, they copyrighted the word candy, which is an everyday used word, and I'm still quite appalled that this was allowed, but that's how messed up the patent system is in the world, and it could definitely do with a little bit of reform. So anyway, Buster Move 4 or Puzzle Bobble, the original and the best. If you see a game similar to it with Saga on the end, don't play it, don't waste your money, and don't give your money to shitheads. Anyway, that slight rant out of the way, let's move on to some Buster Move 4. Hi, this is Buster Move. As you said, please insert a memory card. I don't want to. There we go. Don't know what happened there. I press C. There's no there's no 60 Hz mode for this game, unfortunately. So it's in PAL 50 Hz, which is letterboxed, and the big square in the middle of the television. For some reason this game doesn't like the start button, so we'll press A instead. Fine. Puzzle. Huh? Why are the buttons so messed up? The up doesn't seem to work. I don't understand. Yeah, there's something definitely wrong with the Is this game not compatible with arcade stick then? I didn't even know there would be an issue with that. Arcade stick compatible. Oh, well, apparently Buster Move 4, even though it's an arcade game, is not compatible with the arcade stick. I've only just noticed on the back of the things that the games have to be arcade stick compatible, which is interesting because that would mean that the PCB inside is not actually based on a proper Dreamcast controller, which would be a lot better, because if it was based on a real Dreamcast controller, then you could use the arcade stick on literally any game. That's very interesting, but that could be rectified by modifying it with a Dreamcast controller innards on the inside. That is doable, but that's very interesting. That so you can't use a stick on the game. Yeah. That's weird. So down is that way, and see, can you? Yeah, the controls are completely messed up. So, very nice music. Anyway, guys, the arcade stick doesn't work on all games. I've only just realised that. But with a bit of tinkering, a bit of soldering, a bit of know-how, that could be rectified quite easily, which is very interesting. So let's give a conclusion to the arcade stick. It is agetec, it is official Sega Dreamcast. Of course it is green and it's got a yellow button, blah blah, you can see that for yourself. The responsiveness is pretty good. It's not bad on shoot 'em ups. It's really good on fighting games. So yeah, so if you've not got one of these already and you've got a Sega Dreamcast, then I recommend you buy one, because it's a good bit of kit. Anyway guys, I'll put up another video soon, and thanks for watching.